Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to make it really short. You clicked on it because you saw that this is a video about requirements for passport requirements for DV lottery. So I'm going to make it really quick. So I'm breaking down requirements because it's long. They have many requirements. It's not too long, but I'm making sure that it's just short and sweet, right? So if you're searching passport requirements, boom, there you are. So welcome again, and thank you for tuning in. So there's so many fraudulent websites out there alleging that the DV lottery is on. Please do not click on them. I'm recording this September 25th, and as of this date, the US government has not officially announced the invitation for you to apply for the DV lottery for 2023. So if you see any websites claiming that it's open, enter your information, do not fall prey. So as of September 25th, as I'm recording this, it has not been opened. So if you come to my channel, I can promise you one thing, that I will never intentionally mislead you. So I'll always take you to the source. So in this video, we're going to go to the source. I'll tell you which website to go to get information always. It's going to be travel. Let's go. Let me not, it's travel.state. Yeah, travel.state.gov. So any website that ends with .gov is a government website. So the internet world, they reserved .gov at the end for governments only. So for the governments, for this particular purpose, it is travel.state.gov. So I'm going to share the screen just to show you where it is, but I'm going to use my notes. So let me get you to that. Where is it? I believe it's this one. Okay. So these are my notes, and this is the official website. So it's travel.state.gov, and it's passport requirements for the entry DV 2021. No. This is a statement. So this is a statement. They're saying, beginning with entries for DV 2021, the Department of State regulations require all entrants to provide a valid passport. So we're going to go through what the requirements are. And I just want to prove to you that I'm actually reading from the right website. Here it is, travel.state.gov. So if you click on this, if you scroll down, it's just going to give you all the steps here, and you can find out for yourself, guys. This is something that you can look it up yourself. It's nice to kind of like come here and hear somebody explain, but always verify. Even whatever I say, guys, go and verify. Go and verify and come and challenge me in my comment sections. Come and say, hey, you know what? You said this, but I found out this, and we can talk. So always verify information that you hear, that you read. Verify. So so what are the requirements, guys? What are the requirements? Let me go to my notes, because I find it difficult to navigate that page. I just kind of like wrote a little notes based on the website. So the first requirement, guys, is you obviously have to have a passport, but that passport has to be valid, meaning it's issued and accepted by your country. So the old passports are no longer accepted. So if you have an old passport for your country, for instance, I'm from Kenya, there are those old, is it blue? I have one, I still have one. I think they are phased out now. It expired, mine expired, let's see, last month actually. But if you have the old passports, it's no longer valid. If your government, the government of the country that you come from, no longer accepts the old passport, it means it's not valid. So do not enter that passport number. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is even if that passport that you have, that is an old passport, it still has like a future expiration date, just because it has a present, like it sounds like it has not expired, does not mean it's valid. So that's the number one requirement, has to be valid. So even though you might have an old passport that has not expired, that's not the right passport. What about somebody who lost their passport, guys? If you lost your passport, I say go ahead. If you have the number, let me see here. So if you have the number and you lost your passport and you have the number, then go ahead and use that number to enter, and then go ahead and apply for new. I don't know what the procedures are for getting a new passport in your country. I think you have to file a police report and then go get a new one. Okay, so don't lock yourself out because you're thinking, oh my God, I lost my passport, I don't have it. No, go ahead and apply for it. Go ahead and apply for it if you have the number. Okay, the next requirement, guys, is, I can't even see myself. The next requirement is it has to be not expired. So guys, what if it expires soon? Like the DV lottery might be announced to take place next month. So your question could be, what if, my passport expires, let's say October 30th, or maybe October, or maybe, let's see, or October 20th? We are hoping this DV thing will be announced in October. But if your passport has not expired the day that you are applying, then that passport is valid. It is valid if it has not expired the day that you're making the application. So I wanted to make that clear. How about if you have a temporary passport, guys? If you have a temporary passport, I remember I was issued when I went to Kenya. When was it 2015? My Kenyan passport had expired, and I guess I didn't notice. And I was traveling, I was going by road to Kampala. So when I got to the border, they stopped me and they say, you can't go anywhere because your passport has expired. So guess what they did? They gave me a temporary passport. So if you have a temporary passport, that's a valid passport. Usually a temporary passport you're given, I think I was given, that temporary passport was valid for either 3 months or 6 months. But usually temporary passports are very short term, 6 to maybe 3 to 1 year. If you have a temporary passport, that's a valid passport issued by your government. Enter the number. I looked for that. I had seen it. I think maybe I threw it away. I remember I thought I had it. I was gonna use it for this session. I heard from someone that if you have a temporary passport, it starts with a TP. Usually a Kenyan passport starts with the letter A. So if a temporary passport starts with T, that's not part of the number. It's just an abbreviation to state that passport is temporary. So it wouldn't be part of the number. So when you're entering the information and you're using a temporary passport, please don't enter TP. Just enter the number, just the number without the letters. However, the regular passport, the Kenyan passport, starts with A, and it is part of the number. So you want to enter that letter A. The US numbers, I think I haven't checked my US passport. I don't think it has. I'm not sure, but the Kenyan passport starts with an A. If your country's passport starts with a letter, enter that letter and the rest of the number. And that's so important, guys. When you're entering, make sure you double check. You don't want to be disqualified just because you entered a wrong number. So make sure somebody is double checking your work, your spouse, your child. Just double check it like 3-4 times before you submit it to make sure that you entered the right information. So guys, what if your spouse doesn't have a passport? And what if your children don't have a passport? So the passport requirement is for the primary person who is applying. So at the time of application, your spouse, if you have a spouse and you're gonna enter their name, the passport number is not going to be required for your dependents. I think they call them dependents. For your dependents, you don't need them at the time of application, and your children under 21, you don't need it at the time of application. So enter their names and go ahead and enter your passport and enter their names, because they are not required at the time of application to have a passport. However, guys, to increase your chances of winning the lottery, if you have a spouse, apply for a passport so that you can apply separately. It is not, if you apply 2 times, this is electronic. Don't trick the system saying I'm going to enter these more than 1 time or more than 3 times to increase my chances. No, you will be disqualified. Oh, just enter once. However, to increase your chances, if you have a spouse, get the passport and apply separately. So your spouse will list you as a dependent, and like applying separately, you list each other and your children. So just increase your chances. And if you have children who are over 18, that's another requirement. You have to be over 18. Have them apply. Why? Because after coming here, you can apply for your immediate relatives, especially after you've held, I'd advise you, and we'll talk about green cards later on in my channel. So after you are here for 5 years, after you hold a green card for 5 years, you can apply, and you can apply to become a citizen. And when you become a citizen, you can bring your parents and your brothers and sisters. So it's easier after you become a citizen to apply for your parents. It takes only about 6 months. But if you apply for your parents after getting a green card, while you have a green card, it takes a longer time. So I usually would advise people to wait until they become citizens. But anyway, we're jumping ahead. Let's just talk about the green card application. Okay, so the next requirement, guys, is we talked about the temporary, we've talked about the main applicants, increase your chances. And then names must match, guys. Names must match. So make sure you are it's your passport and you have the right names when you're entering. Double check your work. Don't use your spouse's passport to apply for yourself. That is fraud. You're not gonna, if you win, if they select you and you use somebody else's passport, that's the end. So what are the exemptions? Can you apply for this DV lottery if you don't have a passport? Yes, but there are conditions. So let me share the page again here. I forgot that you're not seeing what I'm seeing. So there are exemptions, guys. The US government has exemptions. So if you are a national of a communist controlled country and you try to get a passport and you didn't get it, the US government has waived that, so you can apply. If you are an individual of a stateless country, you can apply. Who is that? I didn't even know there are people who are stateless. I had to look it up. So you can look it up, guys. This was an educational moment for me. You can look it up through United Nations. And if you check that you are stateless, you have to prove, you must provide evidence to establish that you did not acquire that nationality of your country of birth under the laws that the country, under the laws of that country, and that you do not have any other nationality. I think this applies for refugees, or sometimes I was reading in the United Nations say sometimes children are born, and in some countries, even though you're born in that country, you're required to apply for nationality. And when some people, when they apply, are denied. So when you're denied, when you're denied the nationality of your birth, then you become a stateless individual. So that was my understanding when I went to United Nations webpage, because they are the ones who defined who is a stateless individual. And guys, can you believe it? There are 12 million people who are stateless, and even there are some from Africa. And I was surprised. So there are 3 exemptions. Individuals from stateless who can apply for this DV without a passport, stateless individuals, nationals of communist controlled country, and beneficiaries of individual waivers. So if the US government gives you a waiver, and I think most of them would be refugees, you don't have a country, you are a refugee in a country and you can't get a passport, then you can apply. You can apply. So I just wanted to share that, guys. That's it. I was trying to make this really short so that when you just click on it, what are the requirements of a passport, you get this information. I will make another video for the next requirement. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you in my next video. Please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't, I welcome you to be my subscriber to grow together. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, kwaheri.